I'm Michael.
I'm Bert Kreischer.
For some reason, apparently. And this week we're talking about our favorite Quentin Tarantino directed films. So it might get a little hectic. I might want to Kill Phil Volume 2. But either which way, he's probably death-proof, so don't worry. But by the end of this episode, your pants are going to be filled with Jackie Brown. This is Quentin Tarantino Foot Fetish Podcast now. Your one-stop video shop wherein your geeky clerks Michael, Reservoir Leather Pup Benton, and Phillip the ingloriously based turd Shadburn guide you through our collection of video nasties, 80s action and sci-fi, and much, much less. There, I said it. I'm Michael.
I'm Phillip.
You really are.
100%.
You really fucking are, and you are again. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Remember to smash that like and subscribe button if you're joining us on the YouTube, of course. And if you're listening on the podcast app, subscribe, leave a comment, tell your friends.
Spread the word.
Spread the word, you friggin' turds. I gotta stop looking at that and start looking at that. That little juicy little lensy wensy right there. Oh, man. Shit. Fuck, shit. Phil, how was your week? Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry, I have to play the song. On a very special episode of How Was Phil's Week.
This is going to be surprising, but it went well. But today was the day that took the cake.
Today was the day that took the cake. Okay.
Okay, so I was leaving a job site around like 9 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, I got to stop somewhere, get some gas, and use the bathroom. So there's
when you say use the bathroom, let's be honest. You mean
shit.
Yeah, you shit constantly.
Yeah.
We've talked about this.
Well, my thing is I can piss at a construction site, but I will not shit at one unless it's a dire emergency.
So you're more like you got to shit at like a quick trip or something.
Yeah, and if all else fails, I'm like, I guess I'll go into the Chevron where they're like, I don't want to give you the key.
Yeah, just shit in mouth.
Yeah.
Buddy, shit in my mouth.
Go outside like dog.
Go outside like dog.
Yeah, and so...
Oh, those Eastern European Chevron owners?
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
So
don't fucking mug the camera for that joke. That was not a nice one.
I stopped at a place called Love's, which is a truck stop, because I'm like, they have the big bathrooms, they have a staff that cleans them enough.
They're not like Buc-ee's level great.
No.
Like not at all, but
No.
they're a step above. They kind of have to clean those bathrooms.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, you will get some rare STD just sitting on the toilet.
Yeah, it's a truck stop.
Yeah, exactly.
So I go in and I walk into the bathroom, and it's the type where there's like the hall, then it turns like it's like a weird like maze where you go in, you take a right, you go down, and then there's the line of sinks, and then you take another corner where the urinals and the stalls are.
Right, it's like way in the back.
Yeah.
Right.
And
it's like that scene from Spinal Tap where you're trying to find the stage.
And I walk in, and there's a guy with the stall door open, so it's like angled behind to where you see over half his body. First thing I see, he has his pants down and underwear to his ankles, taking a piss. In the fucking stall. Standing, yes.
Did he pull his shirt all the way up too?
No.
Okay.
That would have took the cake.
He didn't go the full fucking 9.
But I was like, I walked by and I was like, oh, okay. And then I go into my stall to take a shit, and I'm just like trying not to like burst out in the laughter because there was a middle-aged man, a boomer, pissing like a fucking toddler. And it was the greatest thing.
Pissing like a retardler.
Yeah, he could have been. I don't know.
Okay. You saw the back of his the very flat back of his head.
Yeah, the
mushroom shaped back of his head.
I don't know for sure, but maybe his 90-year-old dad was waiting on him. Like,
oh, stop! Now you make me sad.
Yeah, now I'm okay.
Now
Okay,
I'm sad.
well, so
I don't want to be sad. It's
I,
Friday. As of this recording, it's Wednesday. As of you saying it.
So I buy a Gatorade, and I leave, and then there's this lady that's like one of the workers there, just like on the phone, like, I told that fucking bitch at work if she gets to my fucking face again, I'm gonna kick her ass. She said, get at my, and then she was like, and then she said to me, fuck you, bitch, and just like talking to her friend, just going through all the dialogue while I'm like, I gotta listen to this, so I'm gonna act like I'm still pumping gas, even though the gas was pumping while I was shitting. So it's just like, and it's just like, she called me a bitch. I called her a bitch. It's just like one of those. And I was like, there's no outcome to that at all. It was just her being like, and then I called her a cunt. And then,
So you were buying a Gatorade while she was busy sipping Haterade. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Is that the end of How Was Phil's Week?
That's the end.
Okay. Well, then let's close it out, huh? Let's close out. And that was a very special episode of How Was Phil's Week.
How was yours?
It was okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. You never asked me how I'm doing, so I didn't think that. I don't even have my own theme song.
No, we do it every time. You just have to remind me that I have
Well, there's always something there to remind you.
Yeah, that's true. Never made it as a poor man.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into... Oh, also, we have a guest. It's Will. Say hey, Will.
Hey, Phil, you totally missed the reference that Mike made.
What did he say?
Because you thought he was referencing Nickelback.
Oh.
But he was referencing, there's always something there to remind me.
Damn.
Always something there to remind me.
Sorry.
It went right over your head.
I'm very sorry that I had good music on the brain. Silver Side Up is a masterpiece.
You keep talking about them, you're going to be forced to give me brain at gunpoint, okay?
Well,
at fun point.
I call it fun point.
So, guys, how was your week, Will?
Oh, wait, hold on.
Hang on.
Phil,
We
shut
gotta
up.
play the
Hold
song
on.
again.
Hold on. How was your week, Will? Okay, fine. Here. On a very special episode of How Was Will's Week.
It was fine.
Okay, say.
I'm just doing some Ubering.
He's doing some Ubering.
Took a vacation.
I had to turn for that, and I said my back hurt.
All right, well, look. All of this is great and stuff, but we have breaking news. Movie news. Movie news. It's
Pat
breaking.
Roberts instead.
Breaking movie news.
Breaking movie news. Bill Murray is dating Khalees.
I don't know who that is.
The My Milkshake Brings All the Boys to the Yard song.
Yeah, because you
Bill
said that
Murray
you
is-
texted me the same thing, being like he's dating somebody I've never heard of. And I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I thought y'all would know that
I-
she did the Milkshake song.
Yeah.
Why would I know that?
I
know.
know the song, but I don't know who did the song.
Well,
I guess her milkshake brought Bill Murray to the yard.
It really did, because I was just scrolling through like fucking Facebook, and I was like, and I see it's Bill Murray and Khalees, and it says Bill Murray and are dating, and I was like, oh, this is a joke.
That's weird.
Then I go to Google, and I'm like, they are. That is odd, but good for them.
Good for them. Good
Yeah.
for them. Good for them.
I
also,
hope it works out.
Oh, absolutely.
also,
in
Pat Robertson's dead.
That too.
You guys stepped on my fucking joke. Can I just read the joke I wrote? Because you fucking
Read the
got
joke
ahead
that
of
you
me.
wrote.
Go ahead.
This past week has seen the wrestling community rocked to its core by the death of the Iron Sheik himself, Pat Robertson. Because you guys are all
I'll
Christian
break your
psychos,
back.
rednecks,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
you know, that kind of thing.
Fuck
but
you in the ass.
no,
He will be missed by fascists everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that is. I mean, do we want to say anything else about like Pat Robertson? I
no,
don't know. 700 Club.
No, fuck him.
Fuck him
Rest
in the ass.
in peace,
Fuck him.
Sheiky
Hey,
baby.
hopefully he meets Iron Sheik in the Great Beyond, and
Yeah,
Iron Sheik
I-
fucks him in ass, makes him humble.
Yeah,
There
I
you
hope
go.
he enjoys
You
fucking
got it
hell.
back, brother.
Just
I
fuck
did
him.
it. I did it.
Fuck
I
Pat
brought in the Iron
Robertson in
Sheik.
ass.
Look, Iron Sheik up there smoking crack, still mad after that argument he had with Beetlejuice on the Howard Stern show in 2005.
I can't wait for
And then-
Hulk Hogan to die.
Yeah, and then Pat Robertson comes walking and he's like, "You're the near. I fuck you in the ass, make you humble." It'd be perfect. Okay.
It would be great.
All right. So
Pat
look.
Robertson makes me wish there was a hell.
Yeah, for real.
Well,
For
he's
real.
there
Just fuck him.
if it exists. Now I
he
hope it
lived
does.
way too long.
Yeah.
How old was he?
Too old.
Too old. Too
Got,
old.
Like 80s.
He was too hot to handle too.
He
Let's
had
be
to have been in
honest.
like in his 90s. He was way
Too
too
hot to
old.
He was an
handle.
old.
He was
Too
motherfucker.
cold
old.
to
He was
hold.
old in the 70s. For fuck's sake.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, he's an old boy.
Could have been like 90 something.
He's
Though.
an old boy.
He's entirely
Like
too old.
Jack Van Impe.
Yeah, fuck him.
Who's Jack Van
I'm glad
Impe?
he's dead.
That was another guy on television. It was him and his Nancy Reagan-esque wife. That was like, well, the letter today from one of the viewers is, Jack, do cats go to heaven? He's like, no, it's fucking retarded.
Why is it retarded that cats go to heaven?
Cats are.
He don't like cats.
He doesn't like cats. To be honest, I don't like them either. Okay.
Yeah.
I like cats.
Why would you? I do too. I love kitties.
The song started playing. We have to. We got to get to the movie.
Yeah.
We have no choice.
We have no choice. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we're not just getting to the movie, we're getting to the movies. That's with an S. An S spells sex, sucks,
Sabotage.
sabotage, beast, e-boys,
Snake.
Snake, pliskin,
Simplicity.
simplicity,
Synchronicity.
synchronicity, the police. Okay.
Okay, you go.
It spells all of those
police.
things. That's
Sting.
The sting, stink. This one, okay.
The
This-
wrestler Sting.
Oh, him. Yeah. Okay, him too.
Silly.
Silly,
Semen.
silly
Psycho.
semen, psycho.
Psycho has an S in it.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
P. Okay, but I'll tell you what does
Psalms.
have a Psalms. Okay. Are we getting back into Pat Robertson already?
Yeah.
I guess we are. Never mind. Just
Yep.
kidding. I'll tell you what doesn't have an S in it, and that's today's subject, Quentin Tarantino. Ladies and gentlemen, my lord.
Nice segue.
We are here.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, I've been doing this long enough, okay? Phil, you do a segue.
Which also starts with an S.
Okay.
Fuck. That was some. Give it up. Bam. That's it right there. That's it right there. That's the guest with an S.
Well, let's.
Do a segue now.
Does it like a Tarantino segue?
Phil sucks. That has two S's.
There you go. There we
Bam.
go.
Right there. Bam. Okay, give me one too, just because I got you so good. That's a burn. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching this because you want to see two movie geeks.
You know what does have an S in it? Movies by Quentin Tarantino.
Movies by
Glorious Bastard.
Quentin Tarantino.
Reservoir Dogs
Reservoir Dogs.
does have an S in it.
Pulp Fictions.
Pulp Fiction has S's in it somewhere in the script.
Somewhere in the script,
Yeah.
there's an
Yeah.
S.
There's at least one.
And sadly, there's a few N's, and that's problematic.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. But Jackie Brown's,
That script also does have S's in it.
it has S's. And again, it does have N's.
It does have a lot
And
of N's.
that is problematic again. Okay?
Django Unchained does have S's in the script and also a lot of N's.
Did I
Has
ever
Sam
tell
Jackson.
you? Hold on.
That's an
Did I
S.
ever tell you this? Me and Alejandro always had this joke. If we were going to make a Jackie Chan documentary, Jackie Unchained. Bam.
And make him say the N word.
And make him
a
say
lot.
at gunpoint, though, so
Yeah.
you know it's against his will.
He's crying.
Okay, he's sobbing like a bitch. Okay? And this is Jackie Chan. I love the guy.
Yeah.
Let's stop the bit and let's get. I'm going to be bit killer
Let's not
today
dig into
because
that.
we're getting into this fucking movie, director man's movies.
These movies.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to say, so let's lay the cards out front, okay? I guess you go third, and you
Okay.
know why.
I know why.
But they don't know yet.
No, they don't.
I am.
Spoilers, which also starts with an S.
Has 2 in there though.
Yes,
He
that's
said
true.
Spoilers. That's the fun thing about plurals. There's another S.
Yeah.
Well, they also go on cars.
Yes.
That's
As-
right.
yes.
That's
true.
an S. That's an S.
Yeah.
We're
Shut
like a
up.
learning
Also
podcast.
has an S.
Okay.
Because I need to.
Pixar doesn't have
Sorry
S's in it,
does
but it has
too.
the S sound.
I love you.
I thought you were gonna strike me.
But it does have an S sound.
Yeah.
No, Pixar has an S. P-I-K-S-A-E-R.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Pixar.
SARS.
Pixar's.
Okay. What's
Get it out now. Now go on. What else you got?
SARS
Now
also
get it out.
has
SARS.
For pandemic. let's go with
Scamdemic. That
SARS.
has an S.
Yeah.
Scamdemic. That has an S. Okay. Also, demonetized probably has an S if it was British. If it was British, and
Yes,
that's us
that's
on
true.
YouTube right now
That's
because
true.
I said the truth. Scamdemic. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, look.
Scammic.
I'm going to lay my cards out. See how far we take this fucking annoying bit. I'm going to lay my cards out on the tables and say...
You got to go Mel Brooks with it and just add the extra lisp.
We're done with S's. No more S's. And I mean,
He's a veteran.
You can't tell a word that has a in it. Okay.
The letter that shall not be pronounced.
Pronounced. Even
That's a C.
okay.
That's a
Fair
C.
enough. Fair enough. Okay.
That is that
that B. That B.
Curting.
We can go
the
AAVE
line.
here and say that be a word that we're not talking about it.
We be not say the word no more.
Just fucking
just
said
said it.
it's a letter. Ladies and gentlemen, I grew up.
You hould have had.
Oh, pig Latin,
Hould have.
or like dumb Latin.
You
which is
hould have
pretty much
had.
Latin.
Hould
Yeah.
have.
We're stopping this bit. That's it. Moratorium.
Bit over.
Moratorium.
Bit dead,
killed this bit.
Killed.
This bit has been killed by all 3 of us.
Yeah.
Okay. In for a penny, in for a pound, ladies and gentlemen. I grew up a fan of Quentin Tarantino. Just to give you a
Like
little.
all film school students.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, basically. Look, man, I'm a fucking film geek. I love when people make references to movies. If I get it and somebody else doesn't, it still kind of makes me feel smarter than the other person. I'm not a big fan of that feeling anymore, but it does still happen. I love Quentin Tarantino's films. I don't love all of them. I love them to varying degrees. Phil, what are your thoughts on Quentin Tarantino? Excuse me, Queefton Tarantino.
I'm
bad.
gonna say
I'm bad.
yeah. I'm gonna say I like pretty much. I'm gonna say almost all of his movies, but I think the weakest to me is, which I used to actually like, but then I saw a lot more, is Jackie Brown might be the weakest for me.
A lot of people would. I would agree with you.
Yeah.
I don't want to,
Yeah.
because I want this to be a debate. I want you and I to be like, you have a problem with some of his movies, and I don't, and we go back and forth. But I'm not going to get that from you. Having
no.
said that,
Okay.
and again, the S word of the day is segue, because I think I might know somebody who might genuinely have a problem with Quentin Tarantino.
Who?
Will
Yeah.
Swill? S? Okay, stop.
Swill
Stop.
Will.
No, okay.
Okay.
I was dipping my toes. I shouldn't have done it.
Wills.
Will's. Will Spitz, listen to me now.
Yeah. I'm listening.
What are your thoughts?
On Tarantino?
Oh, hold on, Phil. Turn back to the
Oh,
camera
I
because
thought
we're gonna
we
do
were,
this.
like,
No, we're gonna do the slow.
pressing.
We're gonna do
I
the
thought
slow.
we were doing
No,
good
we're
cop,
going
bad
to
cop.
do the slow. Shut up. We're gonna do the slow cunty turn.
Okay.
Watch like this, okay? And you turn when I turn, and we look cunty to him, okay? God, I just love being on a podcast where everybody agrees that Quentin Tarantino is one of the great directors.
I'm
Will-
also gonna crawl. Ow, that hurts.
He is 35. Well, what
gonna
are your
keep it.
thoughts on Quentin Tarantino? We're going to go movie by movie here, and we're going to do a
Yeah, we can.
speed round so we can all get our thoughts out. But just, if you gave us a synopsis, we can't say that, what I just did. What are your thoughts on Quentin Tarantino?
I think that Quentin Tarantino is a filmmaker for fans of film that don't know how to make their own films quite yet. So I think that Tarantino is a formative filmmaker's favorite filmmaker. But I think that once people do find their own voice, they grow beyond Tarantino a little bit. And fans of Tarantino that do not grow beyond Tarantino bother me to a certain degree. That's not to say that I hate all of his movies.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that does it for this week's
Hit
episode
the old
of...
dusty trail.
Looks like old Phil and Mike are gonna go hit the old dusty trail.
I'm going to say I love Reservoir Dogs.
Well, that's the first film
Yeah.
directed by...
I love Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, now.
That movie
I
fucking
think-
rips.
Again.
Didn't he-
Speaking of the letter of the day, shut up for a moment. Speaking of the letter of the day,
It does end.
we found two things. It has an S in it, and we found a perfect segue to talk about my man's filmography. But before I start, that is a really strong statement, man. That is such
Which
a
part?
strong... Hey, that's a hot take, and
Yeah.
I miss that kind of stuff because when you deal with old...
That's how,
Oh,
that's
fair
how, I,
weather
that's how I
Phil
feel
here.
about
Yeah,
it.
seriously, when you deal with, hey, I don't like conflict Phil over here.
I might be
you
a little
don't get that.
Canadian.
Well,
I thought it was okay.
Well, Mike, you were there when we went to see Crazy
Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight.
8 Crazy Nights.
Yeah, and we
This is
we
still
saw
the
it, We saw it
backstory.
in what was it, 85 millimeter,
Yeah, it was the print that
Yeah.
he was sending on a road show
which was
across
very
America.
cool.
That was cool.
I enjoyed the experience of it,
and it
but
did look good, to be
it did.
fair.
It did. But like,
Okay.
And you and I both agreed on this when we experienced this viewing.
Right.
Is that there was this certain section of Tarantino fans that would laugh and giggle every time something racist was said or every time Jennifer
Misogynistic.
Jason Leigh would get punched in the face. Which
Yeah.
is just kind of... It's one
Yeah.
of those things
It's
where
gross. It's
not,
gross.
Not to be SJW about it.
No, of course
But
not.
to just kind of be like,
Yes.
why... It just made me want to turn around and just be like, why is that funny, guys?
No, I remember there was a
'Cause we're
particular...
terrible.
No, there was a particular moment in that movie where the scene was not funny.
No,
It wasn't,
and it's not meant to be.
It wasn't trying to be funny.
It wasn't trying to be.
Like, this would be a defense. Quentin Tarantino would see you saying what you're saying right now and be like,
agree.
yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
It was not designed in any way to be funny. It wasn't written that way, shot that way, nothing. There were no comedic beats, anything. It was supposed to be just a dirty, down and rough scene where people are being pieces of
You're
shit.
supposed to be uncomfortable.
You're not going to like them. Yeah, exactly. You're supposed to be very deeply uncomfortable. Remember, it's called The Hateful Eight. You're supposed to hate all of them.
Tarantino makes movies about characters that you're not supposed to like, for the most part.
I'm going to disagree,
I would
but we'll get into that.
Which is
I
not
like
a hard
Vincent
and fast
Vega.
thing.
Hold on. We're all going to go movie by movie for a
yeah.
second through a speed round, but I got to agree with Will here. Dead silence in the theater. That's not like you're not supposed to be applauding, laughing, nothing. And Kurt Russell, he made my fucking one of my movie heroes besides Jack Nicholson.
one of my favorite actors ever.
Yeah, like
Kurt
legit
Russell,
an
yeah.
amazing like
Yeah.
the man. The fucking man.
The shit.
Yeah.
The swinging dick of film.
Yeah, and he's in this movie being a piece of shit. We'll get to it in full in a minute, but he says something just like, I'm a tough guy in the old West or whatever type line. Yeah. And Jennifer Jason Leigh goes, not really. Mm-hmm. It's not a comedic beat. And it's not played that way.
Punches her in the face.
Punches her in the face, and then you just hear a guy in the back just go,
Yeah.
and it's just
you know
like,
what
oh
goes
man,
on in
I
his
feel
house.
fucking
Well,
gross.
and
Actually, I bet you that guy's not a wife beater. I bet you.
Oh, yeah.
He just-
and I think I know what it is. I have a theory here, where there is the two main filmmakers for that's like, you know, every film school student's favorite filmmakers are Tarantino and the Coen brothers.
For sure.
And
That's
they both-
you know what? You're right. I agree.
And they both play violence in a very different way. Where the Coen brothers play violence in a Looney Tunes way.
right.
Or when you watch old Looney Tunes cartoons, these are characters that are legitimately trying to kill each other in 15-minute segments. And so, like,
For the Coens.
Yeah, in Looney Tunes.
Oh, in Looney Tunes.
But
okay.
then with with the Coen brothers, they have characters that are legitimately trying to kill each other. And so the violence is played in this kind of Three Stooges, Looney Tunes sort of way that is meant to be funny.
Yes.
And Tarantino is trying to challenge viewers in this way with violence.
He gives you the ultra violence.
Yeah,
the blood
he gives you the
squirts.
ultra violence because,
Right.
yes, on one hand it's fun, but it's also supposed to be obscene. in this kind of challenging way.
I agree. And in that way, people feel like they're kind of on the inside of some sort of
and they
joke.
feel like they're supposed to like laugh. It's supposed to be a joke, and I don't think Tarantino intends that.
No, at least not always.
Yeah, no, but like there is that segment of Tarantino fans that think that like, oh, the violence is just always a joke with Tarantino.
I would agree and disagree. I agree, but in a different kind of way. But look, what do you say we go film by film?
And I will say that the flaw with Tarantino is that his filmmaking does not necessarily clearly differentiate the violence that's supposed to be funny versus the violence that's supposed to be challenging and upsetting.
Ooh, that's interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. Let's go movie by movie. Philip, what is the very first film that Quentin Tarantino directed? I'll be right back.
Reservoir Dogs.
Yes, that was his first major release. Yes.
Yeah. Did you ever the guy who played Mr.
Do your job, Philip.
I'm sorry.
You gotta set up context just in case.
Sorry. Reservoir Dogs is about it's a group of robbers.
Yes, they do
bank robbers.
like a jewel heist,
Some
right?
career criminals, yeah.
Was it a jewel heist or a bank heist? It's been a while since I've
It was
seen
a jewelry store. It was
Yeah.
a jewel heist. Yeah.
And one of the members might be a cop.
That's basically the plot of the movie is somebody ain't being truthful with who they are.
Yes.
It's basically Quentin Tarantino wrote something that you can make for next to fucking nothing. He could have made it himself for $100,000. He lucked out and started kind of popping off with some scripts before.
He did the 70s thing of being like, I'm going to base this entire film around a scene shot in a single room.
Yep. He did the single location
Which is
thing.
why Reservoir Dogs, to me, is like a really good formative movie.
Now,
I agree. I do agree.
Now,
Yeah, it's an economical movie, and it shows what you can do in an economical way.
Now, let me get some stuff out of the way before we start diving in a little deeper. This is definitely where you get the introduction to something that was very 90s, very Tarantino, but it was also just kind of in the zeitgeist at the time, and he captures it, whatever you think about him, really brilliantly in the movie. It's when we started to get movies that had a lot of meta to them, a lot of discussion about your favorite scenes.
The late
in movies.
80s, early 90s indie boom.
The Chatty Cathy scenes, okay?
Yeah,
so think about the first...
the kind of... There's two things. So
me hitting you and you hitting the floor, my friend.
Well, the political economy of it was basically you had cable channels showing up all of a sudden, channels like HBO, that were like basically pumping out lots and lots of money to indie filmmakers trying to just get content. And so, like,
it was more the first content boom.
Yeah, and so that led to
you're on YouTube.
That led to the indie boom. All of your favorite directors came out of this period. Like
Linklater,
PTA,
definitely.
Tarantino, all of that.
Yeah. Soderbergh.
So this was the indie boom. Kevin Smith. This is when Cannes Film Festival became like a big thing and all that kind of.
And it's
like
also the rise of Weinstein. Sorry,
Yes.
but it's true.
No, that's true.
Yep,
that is very
100%,
true.
100%.
The Weinstein Company was very important to film, to indie film at the time.
Yeah,
Miramax.
Yeah. But the Weinstein Company, him and his brother Bob,
Yeah.
monsters. We're not getting into them in this discussion.
But they were very important to
You
the
know
indie
about
boom of the early 90s and late 80s.
Oh, yeah. We'll probably get into a Weinstein episode somewhere in the future. Not just Me Too. Obviously, that's where we're going to wind up. But they're very important. And they're also very important in very bad ways that you're probably aware of and maybe not so aware of. And that'd be an interesting discussion. But
That's
yeah,
not what
so
we're
that's
here
the
for.
first one is the content boom with regards to cable. I hear you on that. Yeah, absolutely. What was the
Because
second?
I mean, like that's how PTA got the money to do his first big movie. I can't remember the name
Hard
of.
Eight.
Yeah, that's
Hard
it.
Eight. Yeah. And then of course that's when it snowballed into Boogie Nights and all that kind of stuff. And we have to do a PTA episode. You're more than welcome to come on for
I love
that
PTA.
one. Yeah, me too. God damn. You didn't like The latest one. What was it called again?
I'd have to watch it
Licorice
again.
Pizza?
I just didn't connect to it as
You
much
told me to watch
as
that.
you
I have
did.
not seen it yet.
You haven't seen Licorice Pizza?
No.
It didn't grab me the same way that it grabbed you.
What's your
apparently.
favorite Paul Thomas Anderson?
The Master.
Okay, so and I love
Mine's
that.
Boogie
love
Nights, but
it.
I don't know a whole
Mine's
lot of...
Boogie Nights too, and
Yeah.
this is the closest I got to Boogie Nights because he's like, "Hey, this is
For
this is
me,
my
it's
childhood."
For me, it's The Master and There Will Be Blood. Those are my two
Those
Yeah,
are
I
the
haven't seen
big
that.
boys. Those are the big boys.
Yeah.
Those are the big boys for sure. Okay, so what I wanted to add real quick before we get into a discussion about, Reservoir Dogs, is there's something fun and exciting and crackling with this young kid who worked at a video shop, by the way, in Manhattan Beach, California. I forget what it was called. Movie Archives,
And
I
he was
think is
a
what it
he
was
was
called.
he was a drive-through freak
was
or
a-
drive-in freak.
Yeah, he was a drive-in
Not to
freak.
mention, I
he
think
would-
that's the name of his show now.
Yeah,
No, and he has a show.
That
Hold on, real
podcast
quick.
is
He has a
great.
show right now with him and Bob. No, Avery.
I think it's Robert Avery.
No, it's not. It's fucking not.
Steve Avery.
It might be. I don't know.
Stephen Avery.
Cancel us, assholes. Anyways,
Yeah.
Stephen Avery.
him and his buddy, something Avery. Okay, let's call him Gavery.
Yeah.
Can we call him that?
Bravery Gavery.
Go for it. That actually probably help him in this environment.
Yeah. Well, it's Pride. Goddammit.
Exactly.
Fucking celebrate, dude. What's up? What's up?
Call yourself #Gavery.
Everybody in here is a
Everyone will figure out who you are.
#Gavery. We're starting that right now. Okay.
We stand Gavery.
We stand Gavery. Do you stand Gavery?
I stand Gavery.
Okay.
My name is Stan Gavery.
Oh, that's right. That's why I came up with it so quick.
Yeah.
He did though, technically. Anyways, it was an exciting movie because it's the most original in a sense where he's borrowing the least, but he's also kind of borrowing a lot for Reservoir Dogs. So in Reservoir Dogs, he's going very Hong Kong, fucking John Woo, hard-boiled action flick type stuff where it's gritty, it's shot very gritty. The lighting, you'll notice as Quentin Tarantino movies evolve,
It's like fluorescent.
yes. Whereas like as his movies continue all the way through to whatever his next one
They
is,
eventually get very polished.
they get very polished and very like at times noirish, but like in a Quentin Tarantino kind of way where it's not actually noirish, like where there's like spotlight
I actually
type
would
lighting.
I would say that the lighting in Reservoir Dogs is not that great. It is kind of flat.
No,
But-
it's actually it's very flat. It's he's going for just gritty. This is what it is, right? There's pop culture dialogue. So think about the first scene where they're sitting there, and yeah, obviously we all remember Steve Buscemi talking about why he doesn't tip, and he. At the very least, what I've always
and
loved
that is a criticism that I would have of Tarantino is that he is a little bit too
wordy.
yeah.
No, I
A
hear you.
little too dialogue.
What's the scene
sometimes.
in Reservoir Dogs where even though it's your favorite, you're like, that's the most Tarantino, because you're not a Tarantino fan. What's the scene in his favorite movie is Reservoir Dogs?
I am gonna say that it well for me in terms of like my favorite Tarantino movies that I have seen, it would be a tie between Reservoir Dogs and Inglourious Bastards.
Okay.
And
Okay.
in Reservoir
Okay.
Dogs, I do feel like the diner scene goes a little too long. And just like that, in Inglourious Bastards, the bar scene where they're playing like the game with the cards,
Yeah, and then
that
the
goes-
Nazis spies him and
that
figures
goes
out.
entirely
Right.
too long.
Oh, but I love those scenes.
I
hear you.
enjoy the
Inglourious
beats.
is like my
I enjoy
number
the
3.
beats, but like I wish that he needs I feel like he does need to learn to be a little bit more economical in terms of, because I mean like he with Reservoir Dogs he's shown that he can make an economical movie, but there are times where like there are just scenes that go on where it's just like that really could have been cut and I wouldn't have missed it. There's a lot of things like that.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I hear you on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where
okay.
he didn't learn to kill enough of his babies, if you know what I mean. You know.
Yeah, and he was kind of encouraged not to because, to be honest, to be fair, that is what people wanted at that time period.
That's true.
People wanted that
That's
kind
true.
of that like interesting film criticism that they hadn't heard. Look, to be honest, Tarantino always wanted to be a film critic and a movie star, and he became a
Yes.
filmmaker.
And so he had to reconcile those.
He meshed that together. He was like, my movies are going to be about movies. All of his movies are about movies.
Super referential.
Super referential.
Which is another criticism that I have of his.
Yeah, and I think that can be a bit problematic. It can be
Yeah,
a bit...
for me, with Django Unchained, there was a lot of that for me.
Yeah, there's times where I love Django Unchained, but no matter
first
what,
half.
I hate the last 25 minutes of that fucking movie. I just do not care for
I
him.
wish that movie had taken place almost entirely at Candyland Ranch. Plantation.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he's always looking for that big, sprawling spaghetti western masterpiece, and I don't know if he needs that.
Yeah, because like Good, Bad, and the Ugly, it's all earned.
Yeah, 100%.
But with Django Unchained, for me, it felt a little meandering. But we're talking about Reservoir Dogs.
Okay,
so let's
but
stick
we're
with
also
that.
going movie by movie. So Phil,
We are.
for this one, Reservoir Dogs, I think it's time for...
Factoids from behind the scenes.
What do you got, mister? You got some factoids.
Let me find the.
He's got some
Reservoir
little
page.
mini facts, some little digestible, little snackable facts for us. What do you got? If you make this audience fucking wait more than 2 seconds, I will absolutely
All right, well, I'm ready.
fucking... There it is. Sweet.
Does anybody remember the guy that played Mr. Blue?
Oh, God, I feel like it's Eddie Bunker,
Eddie Bunker.
but I don't know anything about his maybe sordid past.
Well, before acting, Eddie Bunker was a career criminal. He was a
career criminal or a career? Okay. So as a job.
He was convicted of bank robbery, drug dealing, extortion, armed robbery, and forgery.
This dude
John
fucking
Voight's
rips.
character in Heat is allegedly based off of Bunker.
John Voight's character?
Mm-hmm.
But John Voight was like sort of the guy who put everything together. Was
Yeah.
he like the planner
Well,
for bank robberies?
Eddie Bunker would make money. He would go into a bank. Just
He was a
as
scout?
civilian. He would scout out. He would make plans, and he would sell them. He would sell bank robberies to other criminals.
Okay, so real quick, if anybody's not sure who Eddie Bunker is, this is who he is. No, I'm showing a picture of him right now. Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's him. That's him.
Over me?
Yes.
Sounds
I'm
like
sorry.
Will's not
Yes.
Eddie
And
Bunker.
it's staying up
How
for the
fucking
rest of
dare
the
you?
episode. No, I'm kidding.
Get
okay,
this.
So that's Eddie Bunker.
I am a star, sir.
You're back. Okay.
He was arrested at 17 and went to San Quentin. He's the youngest inmate from San Quentin.
Ever.
Was he there
Ever.
when Johnny Cash played it?
If you don't know that, you're fired.
See,
You better just
You're
lie.
fired.
You
It
better
would-
just
I
lie.
guess it'd be
Then
the
just
60s
lie.
when he did
Phil,
that.
look
so.
at me. I'm the co-host now.
All right.
I am the co-host.
Well, I'll be Tom Hanks. I'm like, all right, take the boat. I don't care. I
Okay,
don't
so
think that's
Eddie
happened.
Bunker was sort of maybe even a Z level movie actor for a long time, and then Quentin Tarantino, who's a big
He's the David Allen Coe of acting.
There you go. Without the racism.
Yeah, well, I hope. Well, we
Maybe.
don't know,
Well,
to be fair.
The casual race.
This guy's from the 50s.
Yeah.
But, okay. No, I didn't know that. Okay,
Here's
what
the next one. Lawrence Tierney, huge drunk on the set.
That makes so much
He got
sense.
arrested during filming because he got drunk one day with his nephew and shot at him. It's funny because when I think of Lawrence Tierney, I think of Reservoir Dogs and that episode of The Simpsons.
Where he plays the guy at Value Save or whatever.
Something. What the fuck was his name? His last name was Brodka.
Mike Brodka.
He's like, yeah, this is Mike Brodka. I'm
Mike
called-
Brodka. Yeah, he's like, yeah, that's a great bet. That's a great bet. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Lawrence Tierney's
Well, like-
great.
Like here's the thing. Like Tarantino always wanted to be like, he's like Scorsese in that he wanted to be a real boy. If you know what I mean.
I know. Explain, unpack that a bit, but I know
So
what you mean.
Scorsese was
He was an asthmatic kid.
yeah, he was an asthmatic kid growing up in New York City.
Yep.
And all of his friends and everybody that he knew were
Street kids.
Were street kids and
Yeah,
mobsters.
he grew up off Mulberry Street in Little
Yeah.
Italy. Yeah.
And he just grew up being very jealous of them. So of course, when he got to finally like make movies,
Cowboys
he made
and
movies.
engines in the street.
Yeah, he made movies about them.
Yep. 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 Mean Streets, Goodfellas, all of his
Yeah, all
gangster
of it.
movies, all
Yeah,
of his
yeah.
gangster movies, The Irishman, all of it. Yeah,
And Tarantino is a bit like that.
he's a movie kid who had a
He
lot
was a
of
movie nerd.
who was inside
was not
always
cool.
always inside, very lame.
Yeah.
and he wanted,
Very annoying.
but he grew up.
So us.
But he grew up. Yes, he
Yeah.
grew up in the valley.
Why we do
He
this?
grew up in the suburbs. He grew up in the valley of Los Angeles, San Fernando Valley, and he went to the theater all the time. He watched all the TV
but
shows.
He
in
like
the
watched those
60s.
movies and was
Yep.
like, "Oh man, what if my life was interesting?"
Yeah, so all
And
of
so,
his,
of course, like with Reservoir Dogs, he's going to hire some people with a past because he wants a piece of that. He wants to
no,
live
that makes perfect
vicariously through
sense.
that.
No, I get that. Here's the difference, though. You're seeing that as a negative. I see that as maybe not a positive.
No, I'm not
but-
saying that as a negative.
No, really? Oh, okay,
No,
okay.
no.
Fair enough.
No,
well,
'cause,
that's a
I mean,
very good
I
point.
said the
though.
same thing about Scorsese, and I like Scorsese's movies more than I like Tarantino's movies.
Do you love Scorsese's movies?
Some of them, yes.
I didn't say all.
Not all.
Okay, fair
But
enough.
yeah, the Scorsese movies that I like, I really love.
Right, that's right. You're not a big Goodfellas guy, right?
I like Goodfellas.
Okay,
I'm
so-
a Gangs of New York guy.
Again, remember,
I'm a Gangs
remember,
in-
he's the guest. We love it. Don't unsubscribe, okay? We love this movie.
I'm like the Gangs of New York Departed guy for Scorsese.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. As a person with a lot of ties to Boston, I got to say though, the accents fucking
Yeah.
horrendous. Except
Yeah,
for
no.
the two obvious ones, Matt
Yeah.
Damon and Marky Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but okay.
That was the one movie where Marky Mark was good.
I would say that,
That
and
and
Boogie
Boogie
Nights.
Nights,
That and
that's
Boogie
it,
Nights.
man.
Yeah, pretty
well,
much.
hey, what about Four Brothers?
What about
Remember?
Fear?
He's like half black, I guess. What a weird movie. Fear.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
the shut up now.
He's brothers.
All right.
with-
Do you have any more factoids from beyond
yeah,
the scenes?
the
for
character played by Michael Madsen, which was his name is Vic Vega, but what
the
was his
Vega
color?
Brothers? You said
Yeah,
what? Are you doing a Vega Brothers?
yeah, he's a Vega. Well, don't throw all my notes.
Leave.
I still have
You're
other-
fired.
All right, well, I'll
Leave.
go fucking piss and get a beer. Fuck you.
All right, leave.
Fucking talk about the next one.
Phil's.
Well, a little segue. What were some of the movies that he wrote? I know he wrote True Romance, which I've never seen.
True Romance. Hey, you know what? I actually think you'd like that way more. You would
I
see the
probably would.
Tarantino in it, but and I know I get it. You got your beefs, but I will say that is a fucking great movie. Tony Scott directed that, and it's one of the few Tony Scotts where it's
Yeah,
like,
Tony Scott was Tarantino's favorite director.
in a lot of ways, yeah.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Tony Scott. Look, I don't want to speak ill of the dead, and I mean he's fucking related to Ridley, and I love
Yeah.
Ridley. I don't love all of his movies. I
No,
didn't say
no,
I love
no,
all
no.
of his movies, but
I
Gladiator?
did see the
fucking Alien.
Yeah,
My
but-
man fucking directs,
no,
dude.
like when he nails it, he fucking nails it. But then he also did the House of Gucci movie, which was one of the worst movies I've ever
I
seen
saw
in my
nothing,
fucking
but
life.
I never saw it, but I saw all the clips where it's just horrible
Oh, that was
Italian accents that they
horrific.
abandon halfway through the sentence.
I think they just I think he just checked out.
Hey, Phil, can you grab me the last Jack Daniels over there? We're
Yeah, I think
having fun.
Ridley
It's
just kind of
Friday.
like checked out halfway through filming that movie.
No, and I think he does kind of have a laissez-faire attitude a lot of
It
times.
was so bad.
No,
and
I heard.
The only way I
Oh,
can
thanks, man.
describe Lady Gaga's acting in that was belligerent.
But real quick, Will.
It was so bad.
Will, I'm sorry, man. You got to give me a second. It's
Okay, go for it.
Phil. Vic Vega, Michael Madsen played his character in Reservoir Dogs, and he's in the Tarantino verse. He's related to Vincent Vega, who we're going to get to in the next film.
Yeah,
and
well, that's a
there
segue.
was a planned script and all that kind of stuff for the Vega brothers that was supposed to take place in Amsterdam, actually, and it was going to be a crime movie also. But
Really?
he never figured out a way to do the timeline, and they had gotten older by the time he thought of the idea, and they didn't have the horrible de-aging technology. Speaking of Scorsese, the
Yeah.
Irishman.
But-
Look,
but yeah,
I'm
but
sorry.
at the same
I
Great,
didn't even
time-
bother with the Irishman.
interesting movie, but my God, it has not de-aged well.
Well, they had
Having
already
said
tried
that-
to make the movie about the same
Will,
guy. and it was
please,
just,
I'm trying to say something to Philip. Phil, I was a little harsh on you back there.
You were.
I love you.
I love you too.
I love you, baby girl.
I love you.
And I don't want you to quit this show. I want you to be on this show
I ain't
with
gonna
me.
quit
There
this
ain't no
show.
guy good. We should have gay sex now.
I guess we have to.
All right, just clip
I'll
this.
watch.
Clip. Oh well, then we'll just go with that. Fuck it.
Turn it off.
No, I want views. I want the world to see this. Okay, Phil, go over to Pulp Fiction because it's time to get to the movie. Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry, hold on.
Get to the movie. Get to the movie.
And that movie is called Pulp Fiction. Now, ladies and gentlemen, after the surprise hit that was the, relatively low budget fucking film.
It was certainly low budget for the period.
Exactly. But it becomes a hit. People are talking about it. People are interested. There's something hot here. This kid's hot, goddammit. Comes what many, many, many Tarantino and non-Tarantino fans would say is, whether you like it or not, his most famous film to this day, or at least the shining example of Tarantinoism in cinema, Pulp Fiction. Now, we're eventually going to do a whole episode on that, but that's going to be a while because the fuck, what's not been said? But we're going to say our opinions, and we're going to go round robin again. And, we've been starting with a lot of positivity when we start with these movies. Let's start with the guy who hasn't said a lot. Phil.
Okay.
Friend.
You're going to, oh, okay.
No, okay.
So
Phil,
I said enough.
Phil, you hate Pulp Fiction. Just say it.
No, it's actually my favorite Quentin Tarantino.
Tell it to the audience
It's my
and tell
favorite
them why.
Quentin Tarantino.
What's your feeling?
I saw this movie. When did it come out?
1994.
Okay, so
Like summertime.
yeah, I saw it a
Definitely.
couple years later, so I was probably like 9 or 10.
Okay, sure.
And
9 or 11.
What I love with the movie was that it wasn't just one main character, the usual script with the
Like
protagonist.
we're following one guy
You're
doing
following
one thing.
this huge storyline that
Multiple
they all
people
intertwine.
and also the back and forth in time.
Yeah, I
and
love those kind of
shit.
movies, and
Right.
that's what hooked me with that, was seeing that.
Certainly not the first movie that did that, but it's like the biggest one for American cinema
Well,
going
not to
forward.
mention it
especially
also-
in the 90s.
Not to mention, it also had one of my action movie heroes, Bruce Willis.
One up for fucking Bruce Willis,
up for
man.
Bruce.
I know you're going through some shit right now, but you're a fucking icon. You're
this
a
is not
fucking
being
king.
funny. This is being
Nah,
serious.
for real. Love that goddamn guy.
Yeah.
No, he's one of my heroes
Pour
too.
one out. I'm kidding.
Yeah, not on my goddamn floor. But yeah, I hear you. That's what was very exciting
And the
about it.
soundtrack was great, too.
And guess what we're doing on the Patreon this week at patreon.com/PMTM. We're going song by song through, again, whether you love it or you fucking hate everything that's good. We're going through the soundtrack for Pulp Fiction on the Patreon. Link is in today's description. But yeah, man, I hear
It was
you.
the first time I heard Dick Dale.
Dick Dale, the guy who taught me.
Dick Dale is very important to metal.
Is he really?
Because he
Oh,
was
yeah.
like the very first shredder.
He was the first one to use drop D.
He's the one who was fighting them turtles?
Not a Rogusaki.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank fucking Christ. Okay. Well, I gotta let you go because I'm gonna use what I say to a segue to talk about the movie. Thoughts on just overall before we get into a mini discussion? We got to speed it up a little bit here. What are your thoughts on Pulp Fiction, just in general?
It's fine.
No, hold on. Here's the thing. I love that he's being honest.
But, yeah.
He asked me the other day. He was like, "What are you guys doing on the POD?" And I was like, "We're talking about Quentin Tarantino." And I just thought he was gonna be like, "Oh, nah, I'll pass." And he was like, "Can I come on as the skeptic?" And I know he is.
This is good.
Famously in our friends group, he is the fucking Tarantino skeptic. And I was like, that would be fucking great because I love a fucking argument. Grew up in a very contentious household. Okay? Okay?
Not me.
You hear me, Dad?
Not me at all. That's why I'm so like
Mom.
I'm so like passive aggressive. Like, yeah, sure, it'll be fine, be fine.
I know, you are
Even though I
very-
still sound condescending. Yeah, it's fine.
That's
Like,
why I
no,
love
it's
when
not
people-
fine. You sound like an asshole.
That's why I love when people from New York are like, wow, Southerners are really nice. It's like, whoa.
Hold on just a
Whoa.
second.
Wait till they get home.
Whoa, exactly.
No, what's best is like the Canadians who are like, everyone's so nice here. It's like,
These are fucking demons, okay? These are way worse. You think New Yorkers are
it's like, oh, you poor lamb, you naive child.
I know, they're like, wow, people in Boston are so brash. It's like, yeah, but they're at least saying how they feel to you.
Well, it's like the term Southern hospitality. It's like, I don't think that really...
I think it exists.
Yeah, it's like, it's dictated by custom, but I don't like it.
Okay, but let's get back to it. So you think it's all right.
Yeah.
I've always wondered this about it, and I'm with regards to you and your feeling on it being okay, it's an unfair question. Let me ask it, though. Let me ask it. Because I kind of have stuff like this when it comes to something that's like a phenomenon, right? When something just grabs the fucking culture, right? One of those type of movies or bands or whatever, and you're looking at it and you're like, I kind of don't dig it. It's kind of okay, but I'm going to very much stake my flag as I'm in opposition to this movie or band or whatever in some way thing. Doesn't mean you're being fake. I just mean, is it kind of that too? Because you know and I know, when you're at film school, Pulp Fiction, Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
So, like, does that factor in at all? It doesn't mean you're fake. I am saying now.
No, because, okay. So
Fair enough. Just ramble for a minute.
I think that, like, the aspect of that I think that is being left out with what you're saying is that when you hear about something in the zeitgeist so much, you want to sit down and watch it and just be blown away. And then when you're not, it feels a bit more disappointing because you've just only heard about how good it is.
I know exactly what you
Yeah,
fucking...
and so-
No,
so
wait,
that
no,
was-
hold
that
on.
was-
That's probably a very common feeling,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
And
just like,
so-
why am I not loving
Yeah,
this?
so
Sure.
that was kind of part of my experience with Pulp Fiction, but then genuinely speaking though, my main issue with Pulp Fiction was that it's like when I watch like a new Netflix movie and I'm like, this is entirely too long and a bit disjointed.
And it's a Netflix movie.
Yeah.
No, he's comparing this to that, though.
Yeah, and
So,
that's how I felt when I watched
yeah.
Pulp. When I actually sat down as a mature adult and watched Pulp Fiction for the first time.
Do you know
not
who you
just
watched
seeing
that with? Do you remember?
You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. When you were living with our old roommate, Nikki C.
It's true.
Good friend of the show. We haven't seen in a while, but Nikki
Yeah.
C. Yeah. And I remember sitting there, and me and Nick grew up on it. So we're sitting there like, this is one of the movies that like taught me curse words, right? It's like one of those movies where I was like, and for years.
And for me, that was Clerks.
That's what. Oh, really? Okay. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. So like, but for me, like when I was a kid, I was like, who's the guy in the leather fucking suit who has no face? And how can I be him? How can I be him immediately, forever? I just want to be just a vicious fucking use me, daddy.
Yeah.
But I remember we were sitting there, we're having a couple of beers, Newcastle Brown Ale at that era of our
that's what we were
lives.
drinking at the time.
And you were sitting there and you were just like, I mean, I like this, but like I've seen all the. But you had also mentioned something that was really interesting, and I feel bad for people who come to something late that you had this thing where it was like, I've seen all the memes about it. I've seen all the references to it.
Yeah, I've seen the Simpsons episode about it.
Right, exactly.
I love that one.
Yeah.
No,
Steamed hams.
Yeah.
steamed hams. You're saying right now that Aurora Borealis is happening, located primarily in your kitchen, Skinner. Yes.
Yeah.
Can I?
Yes.
Can I see it? No.
Chalmers.
Chalmers. Anyways,
Yeah, and I'd seen like the Mad TV sketches and all that stuff. And so
fair enough. So
and yeah, when something's like that heavy in the zeitgeist, like you want to be like moved by it. I guess.
and no, moved is a good point. And to be honest, it's kind of one of those movies. A couple of weeks ago, Phillip and I covered. Look, we're huge John Carpenter heads, right? I think you are too, to a degree at least.
Yeah, I haven't seen as many John Carpenter movies as you guys have, but the ones that I have seen, I really love.
Yeah, sure. Right. And he's
And
somebody.
Halloween is one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
Yeah, and he says that unironically. A lot of fucking slasher movie guys will be like, "It's fine, but that it's played so much. You got to check out this fucking
because
Argento movie nobody knows."
I love the movie that
get
inspired
that, but-
Halloween.
There it is. Okay, fair enough.
Les yeux sans visage.
Oh.
Eyes
Wee
without a
wee.
face.
Penis.
You actually laughed. I saw it on your
I mean,
face.
that's
Yeah,
one of
I know
my,
I
like
did.
Eyes Without a Face is legitimately
12.
one of my favorite movies.
And one of my
all
favorite
time.
songs by Billy Idol. Not kidding.
I know you're not.
I love that song. Anyways, I wanted to say that we watched John Carpenter's
Assault on Precinct 13.
Precinct 13, right? And it was one of those things where
Which I have not seen.
okay,
Watch
watch it. That's all we can
That's
say.
it.
To be fair, because we did come down in many different ways on that movie in that episode. Check it out earlier in our feed. Listening pleasure awaits you. Having said that, it was one of those things where there are shocking moments that occur throughout it where it doesn't have the shock value anymore because it was shocking in 1975, 76, or
Yeah.
whatever. Not shocking anymore. You saw Pulp Fiction finally in its entirety, I would say 2013, 2014. And, I mean, my God, man, 20 years of that had passed.
2012. That's when I was living with.
Oh, is that when it was?
Yeah, that's when I was living with Nikki.
God
It was
damn,
2012.
we're getting old, man. But yeah, and I hear you on that. Having said it, I still okay. So we heard Phil's opinion. He thinks it's great.
Well, the other thing that besides all the different,
We got to
like,
do
the
speed
main
round,
plot
man.
characters,
We
yeah,
got to get through this
is
episode. We got to
I
get through
liked
it.
every cast member of that movie.
You thought it was well cast.
It was well cast, and everybody had, I want to say, an iconic role.
Okay, so actually, I agree. I feel like you can't really disagree with that, even though you're not a fan. Do you know what I mean by
I can't
that?
disagree with it, but something being iconic does kind of come with a curse with it because, like, when something's iconic, it gets replicated a whole lot, so that when you do see the real article, it comes across as trite, if that makes sense.
I think it does. Yeah, no, I mean, based
You know
on
what
what
I mean?
you've said, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, where it's just kind of like where you see it, it's just like, okay, yeah, I've seen all the references to this. I've seen the
Do you kind of
iconography
think-
about it, and it's just it might just be my like ADD brain where it's just like it just doesn't grab me
Yeah.
because it's been so deeply ingrained in the
Do you think it's one of those movies where it's like, Do you think Tarantino's kind of a tryhard?
very much.
Okay, fair enough. There it is. All right, we're done with you for now. Heard from him. My turn. Pulp Fiction I saw in 1994 when it was in theaters. My parents took me to see it.
You told me that.
And I saw it, and look, I'm not one of those people like, oh, you can't show kids really bad things or
Yeah.
you know,
My
Or
parents
very
would
bad
not have
things.
taken me to see that in 1994.
or very bad things. And yes,
Jeremy Piven.
My parents, Jeremy Piven, shout out.
Dude,
Old.
Look, for me, when we left that movie theater, I was a changed man. It's almost like that old Patton Oswalt bit about when he saw Star Wars as a kid. He went in as a 7-year-old and he came out with growing pubic hair and in debt. Just a
Yeah.
fucking fully formed man.
Yeah, like well,
Kind of. That was kind of me.
Well, like I guess, and another thing is that, like, I guess I wasn't ready for that kind of stuff when we did see Pulp Fiction. And
You were
honestly,
still coming out of your...
and honestly, that was like the last time I had seen Pulp Fiction.
wow,
So I haven't
11
seen
years
it since
ago.
then. Yeah, but like it would be a couple years until like I was able to open myself up to that kind of stuff.
And now he's
So-
a gaper.
Because yeah, it was going to be a few years before I could really grab Star Wars and really latch onto it. And
That's
same
true.
thing with Harry Potter,
Yeah, Harry Pothead.
where it was like,
The
oh,
Sorcerer's Stone.
I get it. It's not just the world doesn't revolve around me. There's like other people, and I can kind of like open myself up to like understanding why other
Ooh, and
people
not just
grab
be
onto it.
reactionary.
Yeah.
like at least artistically
reactive.
speaking. Yeah, reactive is a way better way to say that. Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that same fucking thing in me where like I want to just be like fucking, and then when I'm in a place, as you would know, called self, where you're just able to step back from the aspects of your personality that can be a little much at times or a little reactive. I have the same thing. So, I mean, I hear you on Pulp Fiction. I love it. 10 out of 10. I give it 100 fucking kisses. What do you give it?
101 kisses.
You fucking Dalmatian. And I bet you give it a 0 because you hate everything, Will.
Yeah.
I'd put my
Cruella
dick
de
in its
Vil.
mouth.
Cruella the Will.
All right, Phil, that means it's time for some factoids from Pulp Fiction. Scenes. Beyond them, of course.
Well, it can...
Huh?
Over there.
Oh, okay.
It
Would you
can-
read the factoids?
Factoids from over there.
I'm trying. You keep fucking talking.
Go on.
It contains 265 F words, mostly Sam Jackson.
Really? He doesn't seem like the type.
I just made a joke.
I recently learned
the
that
second part of the.
I recently learned
fact.
that Jonah Hill holds the record of the most F words said on camera.
Really?
Was it
Jonah
fat?
Hill,
Was it fucking Superbad?
Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, I could see that. I
Okay,
could see
yeah,
that.
when
I
he's
could see
on
that.
crack and shit.
All right, what you got? Go on.
Uh,
Come on, we got to speed it up now.
Vincent Vega's 64 Malibu.
Malibu?
Malibu was stolen after the shoot. The car was actually owned by Quentin Tarantino. It wasn't found for almost 2 decades. 2 cops happened on a pair of kids. They were stripping it down, and they ran the VIN number and was like, "Hey, are you the owner of this car?" He's like, "Yeah, man, I'm the owner of this car."
Oh, okay. That sounds like Quentin Tarantino, to be
Yeah,
honest.
that was I like feet in movies.
He was like, yeah, exactly. Okay.
Okay, yeah, it's my Malibu, but it's been 20 years. I like feet.
Okay,
like,
fair
okay.
enough. Go on. Come on. Power.
But most specifically,
We got to speed round it, goddammit.
It
What do you
cost
got?
only $8.5 million to make, but $5 million went to the actors, but it pulled $9.3 million the first week. So that kind of like helped pay.
Look, this is in a Marvel era. That means nothing to the audience
Well,
if
with
they're under
inflation.
35. If they're under 35, oh yeah, sorry. Back in the day, $1 million equaled 1 trillion American dollars. Okay,
It's true.
and that's back when America had dollars and not crusty, moldy loaves of bread they paid you.
Yeah.
No, it's really bad over here. To our friends in China, no, fuck that.
Please save us.
To our friends in North Korea,
Please
you
save
might
us.
Exactly. All right, what else you got factoids wise
Okay,
beyond these
this is
things?
the
Please
last one.
liberate us, Kim Jong-un.
We got to speed it up.
This is
Go.
the last
To go.
This is the last one for Pulp Fiction. It's the 3rd biggest rated R film earner of 1994. It lost to True Lies, which made
Great movie.
$146.2 million,
Love
and
it.
Speed, which made $121.2 million.
Bam. Go.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Never saw Speed.
That's it for Pulp Fiction?
That's it for Pulp Fiction.
That's it for Pulp Fiction, which means it's time for Jackie Brown. And we're going to speed it the fuck up now. We got to
Guess
fly
what?
through this.
It's going to get speedy because I only made
Doo-doo in your
the
pants.
facts and doo-doos for my pants for movies I liked.
And you know it's
So
going to
you
make it
don't
go
like-
any faster? I haven't seen it.
He hasn't seen Jackie Brown? Done. You didn't like Jackie Brown. Tell me why in 4 sentences or less.
I only
It had
like
a black
Jack.
lead.
No, you idiot! It's the opposite. I only liked it.
Canceled. And Gretel.
But that was really good.
That came
but
from
that's
Phil's
not true.
mouth.
That was really good, but it's not true. No, I only liked it because it had Pam Grier.
Pam Grier is great.
So
there
you're
you go.
going there to jerk off.
Yeah, I was like 12.
Yeah,
or
totally.
Okay, well,
13.
I'm gay, so trust me, the half of America. And the other half, I'm
He
sorry.
also spanked it to Pam Grier.
I spanked it thinking, like, what if I was her? And I was just getting taken over the desk by fucking Robert Forster,
Oh,
a 57-year-old fucking B-movie actor. How hot would
I was,
that
about
be?
that. I was like, she's going with him in this? What the fuck?
It's a movie. It's a.
I know, but I'm
it's
like,
an
come
adult.
on.
It's an adult movie. Think about this. Dire Straits. Remember their first couple albums? They were a bit more fucking rock and roll, and they hit that fucking rockabilly at
Sultans
times.
of Swing, fucking
Swing.
rips.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
And then
Right,
they
that
did,
kind of shit.
Money for Nothing.
No, hold on.
Oh.
That's where we're getting to. Jackie Brown, I would say, is the Money for Nothing album from fucking Dire Straits. The first half of that movie is fun, poppy. You're like, oh shit, this is about to be a Tarantino sequel, basically unofficial, unaffiliated sequel to Pulp Fiction, right? And then the second half, it's actually kind of just like a really sad, quiet, love story between middle-aged adults.
Yeah.
And if
That's
you've
what got
ever
me. I was
heard
like,
this,
eh.
if you've ever heard, well, hold on, motherfucker. You're
will.
35. Wait till you're 47. That movie might hit different. It might suck worse. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not there either. But I will say that it deals with really adult themes and doesn't pull a bunch of Tarantino shit that you and I would both agree can be much.
Yeah.
Instead, if you ever see that movie, I guarantee you would like it more than a lot of his movies, even if you don't like it. Here's why.
Yeah, well,
it
like
deals
you said.
with a fucking middle-aged private detective who's following a middle-aged black woman who's kind of, just from where she lives and how she grew up, she's still kind of tied up in the life of crime, but that's it. There's no cutting to a bunch of shit. There's no, here's a bunch of cool groovy music. It's kind of just...
They get married and they move to Boca Raton.
No, not even that.
Oh, well, they should
The way
have.
this movie works, they would just kind of move one town over where the rent's a little cheaper.
Yeah.
And just have a quiet, sad American life.
Yeah.
Right.
It's actually really interesting. Look, I like Tarantino being manic and insane, so it's not my favorite. Having said that, I have a lot of respect for Jackie Brown. I get where you're coming from as a Quentin Tarantino fan. You having not seen it, I also get where you're coming from. It's not his best. But I'm coming from a Quentin Tarantino point of view. I think you would like this. I think you would like this.
I'll give it a shot.
Give it a shot. Give it past the first 10 minutes. First 10 minutes are going to be very Quentin Tarantino. And then after that, it gets really quiet, really soft, really gentle, really interesting. I would not put it, he's made 9
Whispers
movies.
in your ear and make sweet love to you.
Yeah, this movie fucked me in the ear. It came in my brain.
But that's safe sex.
For him,
It licked your jawline.
True.
it's not safe sex for me when you're fucking my cerebral cortex.
So now you have cum on the brain.
Yeah?
yeah.
Well, I mean, that's not true.
Look,
I mean,
Fifth, I was born this way.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Phil, okay, you don't like the movie. You didn't write any facts about it. You cunt.
Sorry.
What's the next movie? And it's a 2-parter, and we got to fly through it. Jesus fucking Christ. It's fucking Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2.
You saw
I
the-
really enjoyed the first one.
Oh, shit. So you actually like the more
Yeah.
Japanese
Yeah,
influenced one.
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, really?
I had a blast watching it.
You're wrong.
Well, I mean, like that was
After
one.
Jackie Brown?
Actually, I think
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about my list with my notes.
actually Kill Bill
I'm not
Volume
talking
1.
about you and your stupid fucking brain.
Well, I do have
I'm
Kill
talking
Bill.
about
So-
reality. You,
What the
no, hold
fuck,
on,
guys?
Will, I'm sorry. Throw Eddie Bunker over Will right now, so we have to block him again. You're the new Eddie Bunker, okay? Which is kind of based.
I'm Mr. Pink.
No. Why did you just fucking say to me that I don't know his goddamn filmography? He's
I
only
didn't
made
mean
9
to.
movies,
I thought
and I'm a fan.
you were referring to my list because
I don't
you,
care about your list. You're
I actually
refired.
do, 'cause it
You're
has our fucking
refired.
notes.
You're refired. Go away. Go
All
away.
right.
No, go away. Take your fucking headphones off. No, you're fucking done. You're fired.
Dude, I wanna
You
do
have to
this
take these
stupid
off.
fucking
Take these
show.
off. The show sucks. Show sucks. That's right. It sucks when you're on it, being a pooper.
Go drive home.
He's fired. Ladies
You
and
unplugged
gentlemen,
me.
I have never seen somebody so fucking fired as this man right now. Sorry, this is like, seriously? This is not okay. What was the next movie for your fucking notes? Scream it.
Inglorious Bastard.
That's not the next one. It's
No,
Kill
it's
Bill.
not.
You didn't do any fucking notes for Kill Bill?
I did.
Well, then get the fuck over here. I don't care about your fucking notes. No, you're rehired.
Grab my notes.
You're rehired. Fucking finish the thing. We have to get through this. We already got...
Grab my notes, man. It's being fucking.
We're over an hour. We're not doing a 2-hour episode again. People don't watch it. Get down, sit down. We're watching and we're going
I'm
fast.
sorry. It's a lot of
Okay,
shit.
Kill Bill. Will just said he actually enjoyed it, thought it was a lot of fun.
I love
Yeah,
the
Kill Bill Volume 1 was actually, I think, the first Quentin Tarantino movie that I'd ever actually seen.
Oh,
Really?
wow.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
when it was relatively new.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that in theaters with my dad, who is
I
not
think
a
I
fan.
fell asleep during Kill Bill Volume 2, though.
I kind of get that because Kill Bill Volume 2 is a lot slower, and he's going.
Yeah.
He's again. you got to understand, Quentin Tarantino will always look at Sergio Leone and be like, why can't I make Good, Bad, and the Ugly? And it's
Right.
like, bitch, you made some great movies. Like them or love them, you made some big, epic movies.
Yeah.
Stop trying to make spaghetti westerns. He finally
Yeah,
learned
well,
that.
like Kill Bill. When did Kill Bill come out?
2003.
Yeah.
2003?
2 or 3.
Well, there's 2 volumes. When did
Yeah.
the first one come out?
I don't have that, but I would say.
Did you not take
God
notes
damn
for Kill Bill Volume 1?
I have Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 factoids.
But just not the years. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
let's
no,
just
I
say
just-
let's
I-
say it came out on September 11th, 2001 because I'm sorry, I love this country.
Kill Bill Volume 1 came out in 2003.
Damn, called it, okay? All right, Phil.
Well, you all have.
No,
your
you're
phones next to
Al-Qaeda.
you.
So yeah,
in the
I
episode.
saw that.
Good.
I saw that
I'm
when it was-
glad.
I saw that when it was a
Yo,
new movie.
you all deserve it, you pigs.
And I can't remember if it was that one or
From behind the scenes.
Phil, what are the facts?
I can't remember if it was that
Okay.
one or Reservoir Dogs that I had seen first, but it was one of those two that was the first Tarantino movie that I'd ever seen.
Okay, fair enough.
I
Phil,
want to say Kill Bill.
Phil, go. Kill
The
Bill Volume 1.
Role of Bill was originally written for Warren Beatty.
Hold on, sorry.
That
This
would've
is my fault. This is
sucked.
my fault. This is my fault. That would have sucked, and that is true.
Honestly.
Actually, he did write it for Warren Beatty.
That
and
would've
Warren
sucked.
Beatty flat out was like, this is not the kind of movie I would do.
Yeah.
And I don't actually know why, because it makes way more sense to have David Carradine,
Yeah, it
obviously.
Well,
was made for
because-
David
Kung
Carradine.
Fu.
Like, what the
Well,
fuck?
Kung Fu.
because
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, that was the thing,
realized-
because my dad was a big fan of the Kung Fu show. Cause
Yeah, my dad too.
Yeah,
That's
it
so
came
funny.
On, it came on like on TNT or whatever
Toast
back
Mike.
in the day.
USA.
Yeah, USA.
Toast my
It
mic.
was the
Toast
one
my
with
mic.
him and his son.
Toast my mic. Not you. Your dad didn't like Kung Fu. Your dad did.
No, I just said
Damn.
he did. He also liked Renegade.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Get in here. There it is.
Lorenzo
Okay, so
Lamas.
real quick to explain, Kill Bill is Quentin Tarantino finally leaning into his
Martial arts.
Yeah, martial arts and also
Western.
and westerns. So the first volume of Kill 2, it was originally supposed to be one movie, but it was over 3 hours long. It was more like closer to 3.5, 4 hours, kind of like Scorsese these days with his Netflix deal. And what he was trying to do was go, hey, the first half of this movie is going to be straight up fucking martial arts.
It was very referential, and that kind of ushered in that period of film, like Sin City, and movies like that, like
which
that
he
where
directed a
they-
scene for.
Yeah, and yes, he did.
Well, he's
and
friends with Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, he's like Robert Rodriguez is one of his best buddies. So
Yeah.
he was big in that, and then also like you know, like movies that were really trying to be referential and like really lean into a specific aesthetic.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so
Which,
yeah, and then
Quentin Tarantino came out in the 90s, but I think he was a filmmaker made for the early 2000s, honestly.
Interesting. I would argue that he kind of made the 90s in a lot of ways.
Yeah, but I would say that like his style became much more generalized in the early 2000s. Like that
Okay.
kind of referential, quick-paced, like whole thing.
Right, okay, I can see that. I can see that. Okay, so keep going with your factoids from beyond
All right.
the scenes.
The character Earl McGraw, which is played by Michael Parks, he also is in From Dusk Till Dawn as the same dude.
I hate that movie.
And in the
Never
two
seen it.
things,
It's a shitty movie that only Philip
I love
likes.
From Dusk Till
Philip
Dawn.
loves that movie.
It's got vampires and strippers. Quentin Tarantino's in it. Harvey Keitel.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino's in it as an
Like
actor.
I've
George
got it on
Clooney.
VHS, but I've never actually sat down and watched it.
Can you have the VHS? What's wrong with you?
It's garbage.
Watch it. No, it's not garbage. You're garbage.
Nah, it's garbage.
I'll
Not
watch it.
garbage,
I'll
He
watch
was
it this
also in
Halloween
both
season.
Grindhouses.
That's fine.
You finish your fucking notes.
Well,
Your
actually,
factoids.
Tarantino shot Volume 1 in sequence. All scenes that they were all in order.
Yeah, shot it sequentially.
As someone who's not a filmmaker, I was like, oh, I thought that's what they did.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, but then I
that is-
figured
that
out,
is
yeah, but there's
actually-
people who have like different schedules, and you have to be like, well,
Well,
do
no,
the
it's not
third-
just that. Like Philip,
That is something that Nicholas Winding Refn does, though.
he's a really shitty director.
Yeah,
that person did.
he shoots sequentially.
But Phil, You've literally been in short films that we've shot, and we didn't shoot everything in order.
Okay, but I didn't know.
He
But
thought
you
that
were-
professionals did it sequentially.
I was just reading words.
This
He
is
didn't think you're
insane.
professionals.
Well, that's
No, I did think they are, and I do still.
Thank you, old cunt face over here taking
But see,
shots.
you don't understand, Will.
Shots.
Acting is reading the word.
reading the word. You friggin'
It's reading
turd.
the words and hitting your marks.
Exactly.
Bam, go.
That's it for Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2.
That's it for Beyond the Chains. Okay, so Inglourious Bastards is released in 2000, and I love it. I love that fucking movie.
That was the movie that, like, I was in film school at the time, and when I saw it, I was like, hell yes.
It's so fucking.
And,
good.
but I mean, like, at the time, I feel like we were so just hungry for, like, movies.
Sure.
That, like, when that did come out and we finally and I saw it, I was like, yes, this is what I want. I want a fucking movie.
Yes. Yes.
Especially a movie where they are killing
Nazis.
Nazis.
And I mean, that movie gave us Christoph Waltz, and he's a treasure.
Yes, he really is.
He's all right.
Yeah.
I love
He's done like 2 movies to be
Yeah,
honest.
no, but I
with him.
love him.
He was
I
in
love him
Skyfall,
too.
right?
What?
He's in Skyfall.
Yes, he is, but I didn't see that.
Well, that's one of the best Bonds.
And that's a
what I hear.
Quentin Tarantino movie we're going to get to in a second if you hang on a second.
He does an episode on Moonraker.
He does an episode on Moonraker. What
Don't
does that
go
man?
listen to it. Listen to this.
Who does an episode on Moonraker? What is that, man?
The Quentin Tarantino podcast.
Okay, explain that to them. Not like I
Quentin
didn't know
Tarantino's.
that.
I listened to his podcast because he did Moonraker. I'm a big James Bond fan.
No, Quentin
and-
Tarantino didn't do Moonraker.
No, I'm saying he did an episode on Moonraker.
You mean he did an episode where he covered
Oh,
the
okay. So
film
Quentin
Moonraker.
Tarantino's podcast did an episode on Moonraker.
With the Avery fella.
Okay,
Okay. Go
we're all
on.
caught up now.
Go
Okay.
on. Go on now.
Am
Be
I doing
quicker
factoids
now.
for Inglourious, or?
We're into Inglourious. I think it's one of the greatest fucking Quentin Tarantino movies.
I would
fucking
agree.
love it.
It's up there for me.
Oh, God, I
Brad Pitt?
adore.
Grazie.
Oh,
There-
he's
they-
so
it's-
fucking good.
it is
He's
there-
so
it-
good.
it is a bit long, and there are parts that could be cut. But you know, it's a
but
fun
this,
one.
Let's
like,
be honest,
like,
it's
does
the
he-
only time I like Eli Roth.
That's true, and I've
I
met
agree.
him.
That's true.
I agree.
I've met him, and yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
No, I've heard he's a poop head. I've heard he's a poopy. He's a poopy
I don't
bear.
want to break any NDAs, but
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I liked him in Glorious.
He's really good in it as Bear Jew. Do you know who they originally wanted to be the Bear Jew?
No.
Adam Sandler.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
Way better.
That would've
You
been
know
so
what?
See, you
good.
winced. Why did you
Oh, what the
wince?
fuck?
I was thinking of age, but I was like, you know what? Why not?
Who could? What
No,
do you
that
mean
would've been
age?
amazing.
It was like 2000.
How fucking
Oh
far
my
apart
God.
are they even in age, and who cares?
Holy shit, that would have been great.
That would have been way better.
That would've
He
been
wanted
so good.
He wanted Sandler. Sandler wouldn't agree to do it, or he was too busy
Really?
shooting something else, like fucking Grown Ups 2 or whatever.
Oh, that
the
would have
fuck.
been so
That would have
good.
been amazing.
That would have
Would
been
have fucking
oh my
adored
God.
that
What the
movie
fuck?
so much more.
He's like,
I love. I
gonna take
love.
your scalp.
I
That
love
would've been
Inglourious
so
Bastards.
good. No, because like Sandler has this kind of like this like well PTA talks about this like he has this kind of like anger, this kind of like fly off the handle energy that would have been perfect.
He
as
has a
Bear Jew.
quickness to his anger that a lot of people can't get to.
Yeah, no, it's
Actually,
that would've been so great.
believably,
Yeah.
believably. I want to say that. Hold on.
I
want
mean,
to
like
say
fucking
real quick.
like Punch Drunk Love.
No,
like,
I'm
holy
so-
shit.
Yeah, and I don't even like that movie that much. Doesn't matter.
That's one of
Did
my
you see-
favorite PTAs.
Like, it's fine. I want to say this.
I love it.
Adam Sandler knows how to get to an angry place believably quicker than almost any actor I can think of.
And he can
Almost
do it.
any
He can do
actor.
it funny, and he can do it dramatic.
Yeah, that's the thing. People
I
always
mean, like
mistook him as
honestly,
a-
like The Wedding Singer is like
Yes.
No,
one
that's
of
my
the best
favorite.
movies
That's
of
my
my life.
favorite Sandler.
That is my
that's
favorite Sandler.
My
Yeah, me
top
too.
Five,
and
it
he
might
and
be
he,
number
and he does
three.
that, but he does like he does that quick to anger thing dramatically and powerfully and really
100%,
good.
100%.
Oh
All
my
right, what do you
God.
got? Go.
Yeah.
All
We got
right,
to fly through
well,
this.
Tarantino makes
Hey,
You're canceled.
Tarantino
you're
makes an
canceled,
appearance.
you Gretel.
Okay. I'm sorry. I guess I'll be a McGriddle.
Gretel.
You're gonna be a McGriddle.
Yeah, those are
Okay.
good. Tarantino makes.
It smells like you just McShittled.
I like
Go
that.
on now.
The new McShittle.
Go on now.
All right. So, Tarantino makes an appearance as a dead Nazi soldier being scalped during the bear juice scene.
Cool.
Wait, who does?
Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, that's great. Okay, what else you got? Great fucking facts. Great fucking factoids, Phil.
30% of the film is spoken in English.
Oh, cool.
The two prominent languages.
Let me
were
guess.
French and
French and German. Right.
French
Go
and
on.
German, yeah.
And
Go
the
on.
little Italian scene.
Cool.
Great. See.
Great.
SS Colonel Hans
Mole man.
Landa. Yeah.
Go on. Don't. Just keep going.
He speaks all three.
Oh, isn't that great? Okay. Oh, so you mean he's from Europe?
Yes.
Where they just speak several languages. Oh, so you mean he's gay and doesn't just speak American English?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, you know what? This was the first Tarantino film to have an actor win an Oscar, which is Christoph Waltz.
I didn't know that.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
Well, Tarantino started writing this in 1998.
Get to the movie. Get to the movie.
We're done with this fucking movie.
What's next?
We're gonna go faster, ladies and gentlemen. Philip's mad, and I don't care because the very next movie we're here to talk about is 2000 somethings. Django Unchained. Django Unchained. That's the next one.
Yeah. I
Okay.
don't have factoids for it.
That's right. I forgot.
That's fine. Let's quick. What'd you think?
I thought it was fine.
I thought it was fine. I wish more of it took place in Candyland. Go
It
ahead.
was fine. First half is. I like the first
I
half.
hated
don't
the
give a
third
fuck about
act.
the second half. Yeah, I don't
Get
care.
to the movie.
What's
get
next?
to the movie. Quit
on.
rambling and get to the movie.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are fucking just flying through these. It's interesting. What did we just do? Okay, so it's time for the Hateful Eight.
Yep.
What'd you think?
Did do notes. Never watched all of it. It's too long.
It was fine.
It was fun.
We talked about it earlier.
Shut up.
Get to the movie.
We're getting to the movie.
Rambling and get to the movie.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now finally talking about the final movie that he's made so far. The next movie, his final movie, is apparently about film critic Pauline Kael. See how that works. I guess she's freeing slaves and blowing up Candyland. I don't know what she's going to be doing. Overdosing on heroin. Also, you said you thought Vincent Vega was cool. Vincent Vega is literally the dumb guy in that movie.
Yeah, but I also like Big Trouble in Little China, and my favorite character is Jack Burton. So come on.
You like dumb guys.
Yeah, I like
You
dumb
like
gu-
dumb,
I'm a dumb
overly
guy.
confident
Of
guys.
course, yeah.
You're into wrestling, I forgot.
Yeah, dumbass.
Okay. The last movie we're talking about right now, we're going to do it really fucking quick, and we're going to speak like this, like we're Ben fucking Shapiro, okay? Okay. The next thing we're going to talk about right now is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Quick round robin before we get to factoids. Quick round robin, what'd you think?
It's in my top 5. I fucking love it.
He's only made 9. I don't know what that means, really.
Yeah.
You.
Never saw it.
I fucking adore it. It's my second favorite Quentin Tarantino movie of all time. I've seen it like 9 times since then. And I read
3
the fucking...
times for me.
Did you just cut me off, cocksuck?
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you for being sorry.
Everyone's being angry today.
Well, I really have to pee.
We're going really fast. He's got to pee. I got to shit.
Well, you didn't
piss.
see it. Go pee.
Shut up. That felt really mean, and I love you.
I love you too.
And I know you have a lot going on in your life with having shit yourself. He's got to go pee. Okay? And it's just going to be you and me now.
Okay.
It's just the babies again.
Yeah.
Just a couple of cute little babies.
Cute
And I
little
want to tell you
babus.
right now, I love this movie. I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I love the 1960s nostalgia.
Fucking perfect. The radio stations, like how it just went through all the different fucking songs. And
Yeah.
they're like deep cut songs that I've never heard. A lot
Yeah.
of them I've never heard.
That's a soundtrack to fucking get.
That's
on
a fucking
vinyl.
soundtrack. That would be so fucking
Yeah.
fun if they actually did it the way they did it, where it sort of has like a radio announcer segueing and introducing songs and shit like that. Ads would be funny.
I will
Radio
say,
ads from that era.
I fucking love this movie to death.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I love the energy that Leonardo DiCaprio
It's Leonardo DiCaprio.
and Brad Pitt
That's mean.
have.
That was shitty.
They're almost like
That
a
was
cool
Brad
Beavis and
Shitty.
Butthead.
I totally disagree with that analogy, but I agree with you in the sense that they are such an amazing fucking duo together. I mean, Brad Pitt, one of my favorite fucking actors. Again, throwback to a movie from a couple movies ago. Loved him as Aldo Rain. Leo is he's like the Jack Nicholson of our era. How can you not fucking adore the man? He's one of the great fucking movies. Those two are the last great movie stars. That's why he cast them. They fucking did their jobs perfectly. I love everything about that movie. We are watching that in the background tonight as we eat pizza.
Oh, I really want to watch that.
We're gonna.
That'd be my fourth time.
We don't have to sit there quietly. We can just fucking...
No, we've seen it enough.
Again, Tarantino called this his hangout movie. This is the kind of thing you put on, you hang out, you kind of dip in and out of focusing on the plot, that kind of stuff. It's a fucking enjoyable as shit movie. I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. One of the masterpieces of the past decade. Totally feel that way. 2019. It's one of the greats of the 2010s. Love it. Phil, do you have factoids?
Yeah, well...
Factoids from behind the scenes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, looks like Philip's got the final factoids for the evening. They better be good. If they're not good, I'm going to be pissed off.
Well, you know how we both like the movie Gator?
I guess.
Burt
Movie
Reynolds.
nobody knows.
Well, Burt Reynolds was originally cast as George Spahn, but he passed away before he could film scenes, so it went to Bruce Dern.
It went to Bruce Dern?
Yeah.
All right.
Bruce Lee's daughter, Shannon, wasn't happy with her father's depiction in the film. She described her father...
I didn't know about this. What?
She described her father's depiction as an arrogant asshole full of hot air.
Oh, so he's Bruce Dern?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Father of Laura Dern?
Yeah. Correct.
Lee requested that the National Film Administration in China demand Tarantino omit the fight scene for Chinese audiences.
Who's Lee?
Shannon Lee, his daughter.
Shannon Lee.
Bruce Lee's daughter.
Oh.
Brother
I'm
to...
sorry. I thought you said Bruce Dern's daughter, Shannon.
No. Oh.
I am so handsome, super cool, lost a lot of weight recently from working out a bunch.
You did.
And am very wrong.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to slap your ass today.
Thank you. Oh,
otherwise
it's slappable.
Yeah,
okay. And you can check it out at Patreon.
We bounce a quarter off of it.
Well,
go on.
So Tarantino refused. He was like, fuck you. And China canceled their release.
I agree with him, and fuck China.
Fuck them.
Fuck them in the ass. Fuck them in the other ass. They probably got Trey. All right. So when it comes to Quentin Tarantino, summing it up, ladies and gentlemen, I think we can all agree that the three of us are the biggest fans of Quentin Tarantino you have ever seen.
I think so.
Does anybody disagree with that? Hold on, Phil. When I say does anybody disagree with that, we both do the fucking cunty turn. You ready? Okay. We're all the biggest goddamn fans of Quentin Tarantino the world has ever seen. Does anybody disagree with that?
I'm going to do the cool teacher with the backwards chair thing.
Oh, okay. Well, you don't.
I can rap.
Damn, he blew a kiss, dude. He gayed you, dude.
Yeah, man. What the fuck?
He fucking scared you. He scared your masculinity out of your body. Never mind then. So it turns out that the three people you have listened to for this entire episode are the biggest fans of every single thing Quentin Tarantino hath ever done. Join us next week on the main POD, that's this show right here, where we're going to be talking about who won the 80s feud between Arnold Schwarzenegger and, what's that guy's name?
Sylvester the cat.
No. Stallone.
And I think we all know it was Jesse the Body Ventura.
I was in Predator and I was in Running Man.
And I started
governor of Wisconsin.
I would know the governor of Minnesota. You have pencil neck
Minnesota
geek.
And Wisconsin,
and
are
it
the
doesn't
same
matter,
state.
Nimrod, because
We
I
both
also
like cheese.
we're gonna talk over each other. Okay, we did so
Well,
good this
we were doing our
episode.
Jesse Ventura
Shut the
bit.
fuck up, because you fucking ruined it, ladies and gentlemen.
Shit.
See you next week on the POD. Will,
Huh?
thanks for
You're
being
wel-
negative.
You're welcome.
Goodbye,
Good job,
everybody.
buddy.
Goodbye. Fuck this.